Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome once again to Thinking Thursdays. You are here with us at Mind Spark Creations, where we let the spark in our mind create a new reality, and we want you to do the exact same thing. Thank you. We got an exciting show for you today. Prayerfully, we're going to be joined by our dear brother Malik Shabazz. But, we looking and expecting him. But, if it doesn't happen, we're going to move on and move forward. But before we get into that, family, we got a few things for you to support. And we got a little theme music for you to hear. So we want to jump in with that. So let's get started.
Now you can get the same uncompromising truth you've come to expect from the Final Call newspaper on all your connected devices. Subscribe to the Final Call digital edition today. Go to subscribe.finalcalldigital.com.
Worldwide, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Download the Final Call radio app and take us everywhere. On your phone, on your computer, on your tablet, on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can also log on to finalcall.com and click the Listen Live button. Or finalcallradio.com. Final Call Radio, the official voice of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam.
That's that vaccine.
Let's stipulate that this is not a vaccine. I mean, we need to be really clear. We're using the term vaccine to sneak this thing under public health exemptions. This is not a vaccine. This is a mRNA packaged in a fat envelope that is delivered to a cell. It is a medical device designed to stimulate the human cell into becoming a pathogen creator. It is not a vaccine. Vaccines actually are a legally defined term, and they're a legally defined term under public health law. They're a legally defined term under CDC and FDA standards. And a vaccine specifically has to stimulate both an immunity within the person receiving it, but it also has to disrupt transmission. And that is not what this is. They have been abundantly clear in saying that the mRNA strand that is going into the cell is not to stop transmission. It is a treatment.
Praises due to Allah.
Absolutely wonderful. That made me want to slice right now, but I know we can't eat right now, so I won't. All right, family. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. You know, we have been told by some of our guests that, you know, that oftentimes when we start and then we have to break and everything like that. Welcome. Demona, welcome. So thank you for tuning in with us, tapping in with us here at Mind Spark Creations. I'm your brother Carter Muhammad.
And I am Sister Nafiza Ali.
All praises is due to Allah. It is our honor and our privilege to be with you today. We really do appreciate that. Oh, is that Damon? I'm sorry. Okay. Damon. There we go. I got it. Okay, I got that. E kind of threw me off. Sorry about that, family. Sorry about that. That E kind of threw me off. E kind of threw me off. I do apologize about that. So, family, today we are blessed once again to be in your presence. That we thank Allah to be able to see another Thinking Thursday.
That's right.
We really do appreciate it. I always appreciate the time that we can spend with you all, and I love the fact that I'm actually able to be here with my beloved wife each and every week, and my son. I really do appreciate that. I thank Allah that we do share in this venture together.
Yeah.
And we always strive, family, to bring something that is worthy, that you can listen to and that you can hear. So I really do appreciate that fact. And I thank Allah for Brother Ben, because Brother Ben was just telling us, from the beginning to tell our story. And we are almost at 2 years, family, in doing this. Actually, July July make an official year.
An official year for my
official year straightforward. Official
Spark.
year straightforward for Mind Spark.
Right.
So all praises due to Allah for that. And we thank Allah, and we thank Allah for what he's given us over this time. But we're not here to talk about that. I want to turn it over to my wife and let her speak to you, and then we're going to kind of jump in and tap in with our topic today.
All right. Assalamu alaikum, peace and blessings. Welcome, family, to another Thinking Thursday. As my husband mentioned, we are so grateful for you taking a moment of your time to be with us. We always look forward to Thinking Thursday. We spend our week preparing for Thinking Thursday, making sure that we're bringing you content that you can use, something that's going to help elevate you, something that's going to bring you closer to the mind of God. If you have any questions, if you have thoughts, things like that, please feel free to bring them forward. Okay. So we always want your participation. A lot of times we get questions and comments after the show is over, and that's fine. But if you want to participate during the show, then please feel free to just ask any questions that you have. We have an excellent topic today. We have scheduled one of our brothers to be on the show to talk about his clothing line. But if he's unable to make it, then we're going to continue, still share with you his information. But then we're going to talk more about the importance of doing for self, family, especially in this hour. Don't wait for them to tell you you're fired. Don't wait for them to give you the ultimatum that it's either your job or this vaccine. You got to know, if they pushing this vaccine this hard, it is not good for you. The United States government don't give a damn like that. And that's for real, for real. If so, then people who are dealing with diabetes, it wouldn't be so expensive to get some insulin. Okay. People who are dealing with cancer wouldn't cost so much for them to get the treatments that they need in order to heal their bodies or to bring their bodies back into a natural state. So you got to know where you are, family, and we have to start doing for self, and we have to come together so we can start purchasing some land so that we can get out there and produce some food for ourselves. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to get off on my soapbox, as my mama used to call it. But I think it's important for us to realize the hour in which we live and the importance of what it is that we do with our time right now. What are we doing with God's time? Are we preparing for the kingdom of God, or are we preparing to be destroyed, family? We got some real challenges ahead of us, but it is nothing more than the God has already prepared us for. He made you for this hour.
That's right.
Everything, you are constitutionally fit. You just got to put your mind in the right place in the right time so that we can move forward together, family, preparing a future for ourselves and our children. We will make it. We will have the victory, but we will have to work together.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. I just want to veggie back on that just for a minute, as my brother Juan Carlos says. I just want to veggie back on that, family. We just want to say before we get into sharing the brother's information and everything with you all, we just want to say, family, that as my beloved wife said, that it's not enough to say, hey, I'm not going to take the vaccine. Then you have to be prepared for exactly what that means and all the ramifications therein. How is your food supply? What are you going to do to provide money for yourself? These are critical times, really, for you to be thinking about doing something online. Really, it is that kind of time, because if you can't go out of your home, then what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I mean, it's not going to fall out of the sky, okay? We already know that. But see, this is the thing, and this is what a lot of people fear with everything that's going on, that they don't know what they're going to do. Well, my advice to you, family, if you are not a part of the ABS tribe, we highly recommend that you do become a part of the ABS tribe, and that's with Brother Ben. Give me a second. I'm going to drop this link. Give me 1 second, family. Give me 1 second. Okay, there we go. This is it.
No. And trust and believe, family, while he's looking for that, you know, when we bring something to you on this show, we've done our research and we've either experienced it ourselves or we know people who have experienced it. And the ABS tribe is a family. You know, it's a family of business-minded individuals, you know, who support one another to help you along your way. Even if you don't know what you're doing, you don't know how to get started, ABS tribe is that place, family.
That's right. I mean, and they get as far as into how to turn your purpose into profit. I mean, they get as far as in how to scale your business into $100,000 a month, that kind of deal. I mean, these young brothers are doing it. So we definitely highly recommend that you become part of the ABS tribe. If you don't know the direction and how to travel this online space, we highly recommend them. We're not trying to sell you anything. We're just trying to tell you what has worked for us. And we thank Allah that we did listen and adhere and invest in ourselves, that we may be in a position now by the help of Allah and still growing from the day that we started this journey.
That's
now,
true.
We're not going to tell you that it's an easy journey, but what we are telling you is that it is a doable journey and that you can do it. It's going to take innovation. It's going to take creativity. It's going to take that, as they say, blood, sweat, and tears to do it, because this is a real thing. Content creation is no joke. And anybody that creates content and they're doing this live full time, you'll know. I mean, they got to the point where they got whiteboards in their house talking about each thing they're going to put on each platform. So, and they're thinking about it through the week, through the month, through 3 months, through the year. They're thinking about these things because it's about innovation, creativity, you know. That's what it's about. It's about doing that and bring awareness to what you're doing so that way the people can begin to trust in you and trust in you enough to want to support what it is that you're doing. And I just say this over and over again. I on Baby Boy, the movie, Tyrese said this. He said, the easiest way to be broke is to have nothing to sell. He said, the easiest way to be broke is to have nothing to sell. That's right. He said, the easiest way to be broke is to have nothing to sell. Well, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he told us and warned us to do something for self before we were forced to do it.
That's right.
He told us and warned us over these years that the white man was going to drop us, and at the worst possible time, family. This is what he told us. But how many of us adhered to what he said? Now, I'm not telling you we 1,000% where we should be, but we're on the road, and there's so many that are not. It's so many right now don't know what to do. So you're actually contemplating taking this experimental vaccine because you say, I got to provide for my family and everything is real. Well, family, they are saying from the mouth of the creator of this that you may only have a 3-year life expectancy if you take it.
Wow.
I just got to tell you straight up.
Wow.
say you may only have a 3-year life expectancy if you take it. And this is from the creator of the vaccine's mouth, not my mouth. Not my mouth.
Right.
Okay? And they constantly telling you if things going wrong with each and every one that's coming out. We've got numbers into 74,000 people who took this vaccine, and they still end up getting COVID-19 anyway,
right,
even though they took it fully vaccinated 2 and 3 times.
right.
This not hating on you if you did that. What we're saying to you, family, and I know this is hard to hear. I'm not trying to bring anybody's spirit down. But what I am trying to do is warn you that if you haven't taken it, don't take it.
Right.
If you haven't taken it, don't take it, because the science is out there. Even the CDC, I just tell you how it's going, then we're going to move on. The CDC posted up something the other day about how these vaccines are harming the people. I posted it, and they came back and talked about fact checking. The CDC is the people you're supposed to be getting it from. So therefore, as it says, when Satan cast out Satan, how can his kingdom stand? The scripture says that justice lies afar off, because truth lies dead in the street. And that's what's happening, family. They not concerned about truth. They want to blame the people. They want to blame those that's unvaccinated, when the truth is that those who are vaccinated are now the damn vaccine producers in their body.
You know, what I find so...
I know they're going to take this down. So I'm just saying, with you, go on, get it. I know they're going to take it down, but go on and get it. We're going to make sure we get it and put it on the podcast.
Right.
But we know they're going to take it down. Okay? But we're just letting you know what's going on.
Right.
Okay.
You know, and what I find interesting, family, is that we have to know where we are, but more importantly, we have to know where we're going. This is not an hour to be afraid of any of what they're doing, you know, because they plan. And Allah plans, and Allah is the best of planners. He's already taken their plan into consideration. Okay, so this is not an hour for us to, you know, shake. This is an hour for us to dig in deeper into our faith. This is an hour for us to dig in deeper into our belief and our ability to produce for ourselves. Know that we are the ones that created. We are the ones that did all of the hard work to build the United States of America. We are the ones that continue to invent and create new things for this world to continue to get more convenient. You know, the list goes on and on of what we have invented, what we have created, the work that we have done in all of these different arenas of industries. You know, we have been there, family. So now it's time for us to bring that to ourselves. It's time for us to get our own land. It's time for us to build our own businesses. It is time for us to take control of our future. We cannot continue to sit around and wait for somebody else to tell us what the next move is. We the next move. Just like that. We are the next move.
That's right.
And you were given that body by Almighty God, Allah. No one else owns you. No one else has a right to tell you what goes in your body.
That's right.
Nobody. They can suggest, which the devil always do. They can convince, which the devil always do. They can coerce, as the devil always do. They can make you fear, which is what the devil do. But when you know what the devil do, it's all right, because you know what God can do. I know what God can do. God is the overcomer. There is no one that could ever beat God. You heard the saying, your arms are too short to box with God. And that is the absolute truth, family. We are strong. We have to stand strong together and know that we will have the victory. Will we have to go through some stuff? Surely. Surely we will. You know, we've been through stuff before all of this even happened.
That's right.
You know, and we pray that that has strengthened our foundation. And we pray that whatever is in front of us, that we keep Allah as the only reality. Because that's what he is, the only reality. So we're going to go ahead and get on.
Just share quick, and we're going to end this part.
Okay.
I'm going to share something quickly.
Oh, wow. Listen to this.
It's a short
yes.
video.
You cannot mandate vaccines because these vaccines are approved under something called an emergency use authorization, EUA. And by law, you can't mandate a vaccine approved under an emergency use authorization. So you can't say, for example, college students must have a vaccine. You cannot mandate a vaccine under an EUA. You can mandate measles, which had a full approval, et cetera, but you can't mandate these vaccines, which are still all under emergency use authorization. You cannot mandate vaccines.
All right, family. So that was one of the heads of the CDC that just told you that. So just in case that was your worry, then you are hearing now they cannot mandate it. Now, I'm not going to get into all that because there's other things they can try to do. But just know, as my wife said, hold on to the handle that never breaks, and that is Allah. That's right. Hold on to the handle that never breaks, and that is Allah. Hold on to the handle that never breaks, and that is Allah. Yes. So, family, we're gonna move on past that part. I mean, we're not trying to make anybody nervous. We're not trying to be disrespectful to anybody or anything. But what we're trying to do is to inform you about what's going on, and just so that you understand, you know, because you have to know what's going on in this hour, and that's what we're doing. We're trying to inform you of exactly what is happening so that you can do your best to prepare, and we can do the same, you know. So we want to jump in. Unfortunately, it looked like our dear brother is not going to be with us. I don't know. Maybe he didn't get my message. I'm not sure about that, but that's not going to stop us. We're going to show our brother some mad love anyway, that's just right. Like we did with our sister Wendy 3 times before she came on. Twice. Before she came on. And all praises due to Allah, because we love her and what she's doing, and we thank Allah for this brother and what he's doing. Now, our brother has created a clothing line called 40 Acres Apparel. Now, this is an apparel that he called conscious wear. It's conscious wear, just like the Love My Kidneys shirt. It is conscious wear, meaning that to bring consciousness to your mind as to I'm all the way over here. Yeah, the consciousness to your mind, as to what is being stated. So this t-shirt is to remind us of the promise that we received, and that we were supposed to get 40 acres and the mule after coming out of slavery. You know, I'm gonna get my book out.
No, he's reaching into the bookshelf.
Book
Something amazing is gonna come from the bookshelf.
And for those of you who don't have this book right here, you need to get it. And I'm gonna put it here where you can get it. Just give me a second. There you are.
Oh, nice.
That is where you can get that book. It is called The Secret Relationships Between Blacks and Jews, How Jews Gain Control of the American Economy. And this is nothing, again, just like volume 1. This is nothing, again, that we said. This is all what they said out of their mouth. That's the beauty of this book. But let me just take a look at this. Give me 1 second. My wife gonna talk for a moment because I want to get to this part about the 40 acres.
Okay.
Because we want you to understand how important what this brother is talking about. Wait a minute. Here it is. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me get to page.
Well, while he's looking at up, family, just the thought of 40 acres. Can you imagine? Have you ever seen 1 acre? You know, our land that we own in Georgia is sitting on 3/4 of an acre.
Right.
And so when I say a nice big old backyard, nice big old front yard, and we still, it's a fence. And even beyond that fence is some of our land as well. So just 1 acre is a nice amount of land. So 40 acres, oh man, we can do some work with 40 acres.
So let's take a look here. I hope you all can hear me. This is on chapter 3, starting at page 147. We're going to read just a little bit because we want you to understand the importance of what this brother is representing in his conscious clothing line. Okay? 40 acres and the Jews, heirs of the slave baron. It says in the quote here, non-Southerners are stunned to learn that the South ever had any Jews at all. Eli Evans. That was his quote. It says, the Jews were well established in the American South is clear. And though their numbers were small, they performed critical roles as lawmakers and civic leaders within the plantation culture. 2 false but enduring notions by now have been put to rest, that all blacks actually experienced any form of freedom, justice, or equality in the South after the Civil War, and 2, that Jews avoided settling in the South because of its culture of extreme racism. Black conditions the same conditions that they had experienced since their arrival in America, while Jews join other whites in finding complete acceptance and generous social benefits. The question we now examine is, what was the Jewish role within the highly racialized plantation economy that characterized the South? What was the nature of the contact between blacks and Jews in the economic arena, and how did this relationship affect their individual development? We explored these issues from the moment of the so-called emancipation. At the end of the war, did circulate in America that fixed itself in the minds of the more than 4 billion black former slaves. General Oliver Howard, for whom Howard University was named, first leaked the notion that the newly free Africans could expect to receive 40 acres and a mule in compensation for 15 generations of forced, unpaid toil. The rumor spread like wildfire among the long-suffering and deserving blacks, but it was never to be. In reality, the United States government never intended to give land, the foundation of true freedom, to any of its former slaves. The plan was for blacks to be given the opportunity to buy 40-acre lots after working the land for 3 years. Other legislative proposals were also circulated, none achieving the promise of true land ownership for blacks. And though some ex-slaves were settled on 40-acre farms, the land was quickly seized by whites and restored to their former slavehold. The Southern Homestead Act of 1866 opened up 46 million acres in five southern states for ex-slaves and Union veterans, but only about 1,000 blacks ever received title to land, which most often consisted of uncleared woodlands or refuge tracts of the poorest quality. Still, within America's fertile southern heartland were tens of millions of slave cultivated acres that had been the cornerstone of the American cotton economy. That land rightfully, morally, and logically belonged to the black former slaves and the displaced Native American survivors of the U.S. government genocide. In fact, blacks were already on the land and had been working it for generations. And while blacks never could claim any of the vast plantations they call home, the question remains, who did? A generation after slavery ended, the renowned black scholar W.E.B. Dubois, or Du Bois, whichever you like to say, specifically headed to Georgia countryside to study the black condition for his classic work, The Soul of Black Folk. He made his way to Daugherty County, a farming region and home to 10,000 blacks who outnumbered whites by 5 to 1. He observed that many ethnic groups collected in the region and found immigrant Jews well entrenched in the affairs of this very black southern township. His indictment is troubling. The Jews, this is a quote from him, the Jew is the heir of the slave baron in Daugherty. And as we ride westward by wide stretching cornfields and stubby orchards of peaches and pears, we see on all sides within the circle of the dark forest a land of Canaan. Here and there are tales of projects for money getting, born in the swift days of Reconstruction. Improvement companies, wine companies, mills, and factories nearly all failed, and the Jews fell heir. The Jews fell heir, says Du Bois, who reviewed the shrewd and curious Jews, was one of the first eyewitness testimonies describing the nature of the black-Jewish relationship. But Dubois was not just some casual observer. He was the preeminent black intellectual in his time, and he was a Harvard-trained scholar, and he was a keen observer of the racial dynamic in the Reconstruction era and beyond. He would become a prolific writer, authoring many a treatise and issue concerning race in America and around the world. He was a long life respecter of Jews, and according to Dr. Benjamin Stifchich, no black voice was heard more often, more eloquently, and for a longer period of time than W.E.B. Du Bois and his denunciation of anti-Semitism and his praise of Jewish people in general. A decade after his Georgia revelation, Dubois would become the NAACP's top black official. Forceful charge that Jews, as opposed to any other identifiable group of America, were the heirs of the slave baron, is a shocking revelation that can be easily dismissed. What did his careful and thoughtful academic see and experience that would cause him to issue such a bold, specific accusation against a people widely considered to be the best friend of the black man? The fact is, Du Bois was experiencing firsthand a part of history deliberately hidden for more than a century. The blacks of Daugherty County, like blacks all over the South, upon emancipation, fell victim to one of the greatest financial injustices in American history. Within a short time after slavery, whites had established a new plantation system that was intentionally designed to block and ultimately destroy the ex-slaves' every avenue toward freedom. Through this system, the same land that was once owned by white planters and promised an ode to free black was promptly seized by white immigrant merchants, many of them Jewish, using the leverage provided by repressive Jim Crow laws and government-sanctioned racial violence, this very same scheme that made blacks the poorest of the poor was at the very same time and in the very same place making a new class of immigrant merchants the richest of the rich. Dubois' report could not be obscured in euphemism and in fact described a condition very much like slavery. Nearly all the land belonged to the Russian Jews. The overseers are white, and the cabins are bare board houses scattered here and there. The rents are high, and day laborers and contract hands abound. The U.S. government in 1901 report of the Industrial Commission on Immigration confirmed that 9/10 of the storekeepers in Dougherty County are Jewish merchants, some Russian and German Jews, but most of them Polish Jews, and many other disinterested white observers saw essentially the same thing. Edward King surveyed the South for Scribner's magazine in 1873 and 74, some 20 years before Dubois arrived, and independently verified the Jewish presence on an even broader scale. The shrewd Hebrew, this is from his book, Edward King, the shrewd Hebrew who has entered into the commerce of the South in such a manner as almost to preclude Gentile competition, understand the freedman very well and manages him in trade. The Hebrew merchants have large establishments in all the planting districts in Mississippi, and in some other sections they have made more than 100% retail profit. In short, in some sections the Hebrew is the taskmaster, arbitrator, and guardians of the planters' destinies. The post-Civil War economics that emerged in the region with the highest concentration of blacks that was described so vividly by Dr. Dubois, Mr. King, and others remain an entirely unexplored aspect of Black Jewish history, who actually acquired the 40 acres, the mule, the cotton, and the wealth promised to the emancipated Black man and woman, and exactly how was this incredible advantage achieved? Who were the new chattel slaves and who were the heirs of the slave baron? We're not going to get into all of it, but if you don't have this book, The Secret Relationships Between Blacks and Jews, Volume 2, I highly recommend that you go ahead and go get it. Now, the reason I brung this up is because even that's what my brother is pointing to with that. You know, this what we were promised. These were the reparations that they said they were going to give us. They, as we found out, they didn't intend to ever keep the promise. They're going to sell you the land after you work it for 3 years when you have worked it for 310 years, chattel slavery. So even in that, they never intended to keep their promise. You won't be hearing this in your schools because of this critical race theory. So if you don't get it from us, you don't get it from some other black bookstores, if you got it, you better keep a lock on it, because remember this, they are the publishers. They are the publishing houses. They are the ones printing the books. So therefore, you're going to get what they give you. They are the ones designing the school curriculum. Right. And they've already said, we want you to listen. They've already said they will no longer be teaching the civil rights movement. Right. They won't even be teaching that. So your children won't learn about Martin Luther King and none of that. They won't see the things that you saw and experienced. They're going to flip the whole script to make themselves look like the darling that they're not. Exactly. Because they said this doesn't bring about black patriotism or bring about patriotism in the country, which you knowing everything that they did. Right. Well, you'd rather flip the truth than tell the truth. Exactly. You got something? Huh?
No, just want to hear what the brother has And
All
then
right.
we'll talk a little bit more. about
Okay,
the
so
40 acres.
this is his site right here. Give me a second. Definitely support our brother. This site is called 40acresapparel.com. Right here. He got some beautiful stuff. I'm going to go and read his words.
Nice.
This is our brother right here.
You want to show us video? How long is it?
I don't know that. I don't know. I will look.
Hello, my name is Malik Shabazz, and I am the owner and creator of 40 Acres Apparel for Your Mind. A clothing line that was created to help educate the American public on the historical injustices that was facilitated against African Americans, depicting why African Americans are deserving of reparations. What is reparations, you may ask? Reparations is compensation payable for any and all wrongful acts facilitated against a person or a country by the controlling majority. What is 40 acres, you may ask? 40 acres is a phrase that came to birth during and after Abraham Lincoln's famous Emancipation Proclamation address, which stated that slaves in Confederate territories would now be considered free. What to do with the slaves became the question of the day. So a former rep from Pennsylvania named Thaddeus Stevens presented Congress with a reparations bill called H.R. 29, which awarded free slaves 40 acres and a mule. Did you know that from 1971 to 1990 that the United States government has paid reparations to several Native American tribes as well as the Japanese Americans to the sum of billions of dollars? The United States government has refused to address the issue of reparations for African Americans, so I have decided to take this reparations debate to you, the American public, as well as the streets in the form of this clothing line, 40 Acres Apparel for Your Mind. 40 Acres was created to educate the American public on these historical injustices so that the American public can debate and come to an objective opinion whether African Americans are deserving of said reparations. Our website is 40acresapparel.com. Please feel free to go to our website and look at our apparel and decide which is good for you. We're giving you an opportunity to get behind a just and noble cause. We're giving your ancestors a voice from the grave. And most importantly, we are educating you on these historical injustices, such as the Tuskegee experiment, 3/5 of a human being, the Jim Crow laws, etc. So please feel free to go out and support 40 Acres Apparel for Your Mind and take this debate where it belongs, to you, the American public. Thank you for your time and your consideration.
We're going to go ahead and play this next video as well.
Okay.
Do you have ancestor pride? I do. Come find out how I'm expressing my ancestor pride with 40 Acres Apparel for Your Mind. 40 Acres was created to educate the American public on the historical injustices that was facilitated against African Americans, proving why we are deserving of reparations. What is reparations, you may ask? Reparations is compensation payable for any and all wrongful acts facilitated against a person or country by the controlling majority. What other clothing line that you know will give you something back other than taking your money? Well, 40 Acres is giving your ancestors a voice from the grave. We're giving you an opportunity to get behind a just and noble cause. We're giving you an opportunity to become a walking billboard of factual information. And we also educating you on various subjects such as the Jim Crow laws, Tuskegee experiment, 3/5 of a human being, and lynching. We also have slogans from the 40 commandments such as, thou shalt not judge people for the color of their skin. Thou shalt pay reparations for the effects of slavery. Thou shalt not commit police brutality, and thou shalt not commit racial profiling. 40 Acres will be bringing out 4 new topics every 4 months and 4 new 40 commandments every 4 months. So go out and support 40acresapparel.com and find something that you feel that you can wear and express yourself and give your ancestors the voice that they deserve. Let's rise, Black folks.
Let's rise.
All right, so we're going to kind of go through this site a little bit and show you all some of the apparel that is available right here. I'm going to just click on all products so you can see that he has the face mask, 3/5 human, right there, the reparations shirt, thou shalt not enslave people.
Can you open, because it's really small. At least on my screen it's small, so.
Let me try to make it bigger. Okay, can you see it better now?
Let me see.
Give it a second.
Yeah.
Did it get bigger?
No.
Okay, I will go in and kind of click on, because he got 103
Oh, well, I guess we
things.
can't do all 103. But let's just
I tap into this shirt here.
Let's see. Okay.
Right here. And we will make that bigger. Come over here.
Okay. Yeah.
So nice. You all can see.
Yes, sir.
Right there. That is the shirt, 40 Acres. There are many, as you see. The brother has over 103 items that are available. And as you can see, that's really reasonably priced. Only $26 for the shirt, which is really good. I've seen shirt into the $50s and $60. So this is a very powerful clothing line. And as we just read, we didn't even get all into it because, of course, if you don't have this book, you need to get it. You can go to store.finalcall.com. You want to know what happened. You want to know why we weren't further ahead economically. You want to know what happened to our movements. You want to know what was going on post-slavery. Let me turn that over right here. It's right here. Full of thousands of footnotes in this book. Thousands of footnotes. Now, some of y'all looking at it and say, oh, there they go. They trying to hate on somebody. Not at all. This ain't got nothing to do about hating nobody. But these are facts that you know I knew at one time. None of us knew about what was going on and who was in the background and what was going on during these times. So we highly recommend that you get this book, because this is what we're saying now. They own the printing presses. They own the publishing houses. So if we're not printing books like this, then you're not going to get it like this. And they've already told you straight up, straight down, that they're going to rewrite the history. They're getting rid of slavery. Your children won't know nothing about that. They said that they won't be teaching the civil rights movement anymore. So they're not going to even know about the modern atrocities that we had to face. So they won't hear anything about Jim Crow. They won't hear anything about the slave code. They won't hear anything about all of these things, because they said that this doesn't lend to patriotism by telling the truth against what they've done.
You know,
okay.
What really brings to my mind, family, is that at the end of the day, we are responsible for ourselves and our children. If we are still sitting around waiting on someone else, the Martin Luther King, when he went and visited the president and he made demands of what we needed as a people, and the president, Johnson said, make me do it. Well, how do you make somebody do it? Think about being in a bad relationship. And this person is, let's not physically abusive, but verbally abusive, right? and they just take things away from you. You can stay in that situation and continue to beg them to treat you right, or you can go someplace else and let them know that if you want to continue this relationship, these are my demands.
That's right.
These are things that I require. But in the meantime, I'm going to take care of me because you're not doing a good job with taking care of me. This relationship between blacks and whites have been a very abusive relationship, not just verbally, but physically, mentally, spiritually,
yes.
financially. You know, if we went that down the whole line. Now, whether your one or two white friends have been wonderful to you, if so, amazing. I'm glad to hear that. But when you look at the masses of what is happening to us as a people and what has been done to us, and what I wanted to make mention when my husband was reading that, you know, the United States government has spent millions and billions of dollars to keep their foot on our neck. And the reason they do that is because we are God. We are children of the Most High God. And when we are in our own environment and left alone, we will rise like cream. We will rise to the top. And they don't want that. They want to be the leaders of their world. And if we let us be ourselves, to be one with God, you know, and to develop naturally and normally, we're going to take care of our own selves. We wouldn't mistreat other people because that's not our nature. You know, our nature is to be fair. But when someone else's nature is to be wicked, then all they see is, oh, they're going to come back and be wicked on us. You know, and they don't want anybody to be over them. We don't have to be over them, family. Let's go and do our own thing, you know. And what I like about what the brother is doing is he is bringing attention and he is bringing awareness, but he's not sitting around waiting on them to do something because he's starting his own movement, right? He's finding a way to not only bring it to mind, because when I think about the 40 acres and a mule, now I'm thinking about what land I need to own. What could we do with 40 acres? You know, as we look at land, we're looking at, oh, there are fruit trees on different properties. You know, there are, what was the other trees we were looking at?
Mesquite, I think it was. Basically, you know, you can cook with it.
Right. Okay. So that's good. We can make our own wood chips for barbecuing.
Yeah.
We don't have to go to Walmart. You know, if we have it on our land, we can bag it. We can ship it.
Right.
We can sell it. We can ship it. Mm-hmm. Right. Those trees are there for us as well. You know, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said one time that the cow will give us his hide as well.
That's right.
The same way that the cow produces, you know, for the white man, as far as his milk, as far as shoes and belts and things like that, we can have the same. Our children can now be employed because we have things that will employ them.
That's right.
We have to do this, family. And when we do this and we stand, and let me say this again, because there are some people that are very afraid that the white man is going to come and do what he did to us in Tulsa, Oklahoma, what he did to us in New York, you know, and what he did in what is that river? That river that they Lake Lanier. You know, yeah, the devil did what he did, and he's got a price to pay for it. But we are living in an hour where God is present. God has given us dominion. And it is our time to stand up, family. We don't have to take anything from anybody. We just got to stand up and do our own thing, you know, and we have to do it as conscious entrepreneurs, as my sister Wendy Sajda Muhammad talks about, is having the conscious mind of God, having the desire to, you know, remove evil from us and bring in the righteous behavior. Bringing in an environment where your children can grow spiritually, you know, where they can develop into the real gods that they are. I mean, I could go on and on when we talk about the Black excellence in our community, the scholarship in our community. We got 15-year-olds and 12-year-olds going to college. Well, you can only get into college when you pass certain exams, meaning there's a certain level of knowledge that you have to have. And yes, a lot of the knowledge is from this world, but is their understanding, their ability to think beyond the average. That's in you. That's in your children. You have to allow your children that opportunity to grow to that level. Those parents put their children in an environment that nurtured knowledge, wisdom, exploration, to get out and explore the world. I have a niece. She's like 3 years old. And Lord have mercy, everybody in my family is like, she is the most busiest body you've ever seen. And they like, you got to watch her 24/7, and I'm sure she is a handful. But I always express to my family is that we have to give her things to do, because when she's left on her own, she's going to be destructive. But when we create an environment for her, to go and explore, let's go out and dig in the dirt. Let's pull up some worms. What does this worm do? We used to do it, cut the worm in half, and you see the worm going 2 different directions. And if you kept up with the worm, you'll find out that he grew his other parts. Right. So there's things that we can do when we're in an environment to learn, to nurture, to allow our children to grow. Family, we got to do this. We're going to do it, because we are doing it. You see so many more entrepreneurs, Black entrepreneurs coming up, and his t-shirt line is important. We have to stop spending our money on hair, nails, weave, fancy cars and rims, and spend our money on things that's going to support one another. Don't worry about, they're going to be making all this money. Yeah, because if they making more money, then now they can support you to make some more money.
And they can hire people too.
Yes, right. And so then we become a circle. The Caucasian is already doing it. The Jews already do it. My husband has told my father's story many times on how my father was working for a Jewish man, and he sent him out to buy some ties or something. And he told him where to go to another Jewish merchant. And my father went and found the t-shirts or the ties or whatever it was someplace else. And when he came back to the store, the Jewish guy asked him, "Did you buy it from my brother?" And my father said, "No, I found it cheaper over here." He said, "I don't care. I want you to take that back and go get it from my brother." And so that's the spirit and the energy that we have to have. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad told us to study the white man, because he don't make excuses for his failures. And we're going to make some mistakes along the way, but the important thing is that we're on the journey. The important thing is that we're striving, to build business with one another. And the more that we do that, the more that we grow. I don't care if my sister becomes a millionaire before me. I want to help her get to be a millionaire, because guess what? When she becomes a millionaire, that means she got some money she can spend with me now.
That's right.
And then not only that, she's running with a different circle as a millionaire. She's going to tell them people about me. They're going to support me. Then I become a millionaire. Then I can support this brother over here, this sister over there. And these, decided I'm not going to get the shot. I'm not going to take the jab, so I can't go to school. What I'm going to do? Come over here, young brother. Come over here, young sister. Help me build my business as I teach you and train you how to build your own.
That's right.
See, we got to get rid of jealousy. We got to get rid of envy. We got to get rid of the self-hatred that we have for one another that pops up its ugly head at seem like every given moment. But you got to fight that beast. You got to fight that beast within yourself. When you see it pop up, when you see, why they doing the same thing I'm doing, I'm not going to support them. No, remove that thought from your head. I'm going to support them because they're doing what I'm doing. And guess what? We can do it together. Therefore, we can lower the price of what it is that we're purchasing so that we can both get more of the profit, so that maybe we can even look at what the Chinese do with the beauty shops. This is what they do. They buy together in bulk. So yeah, I might buy 150 wigs. But if 10 of my sisters or brothers buy 15 wigs, now we're talking about what, 150. I'm going to get a better price. And I hate to use that that thing, but of course that's a lot of people wear the hair. I was laughing on Brother Ghazi's video. Somebody said, "Oh, I could take that horse's hair and put it on and make a ponytail out of it." We don't have to do that, sister. Your natural hair is beautiful. Work with your natural hair, and let's stop spending all that money in that direction. You're beautiful. That's another story for another day. And we're going to have that conversation, sisters, because we have to understand that we are beautiful. No matter what you look like, God gave you that look. If you want to enhance that beauty, then we have to go inward in order to enhance the outward, right? So, anyway, my point in all of this is creating the environment of entrepreneurship so that we can purchase land. There are 40 acres out here, and if more than one of you go in together, then you can purchase that together. Pull up a contract, get a lawyer, and get a contract between you. And the same you pay rent every month, that's how you have to pay your mortgage.
Right.
And don't be, I'm running late. I went over here and brought some shoes. No, the money is for what the money is for.
That's
and we have to be true to ourselves, and we have to be better about keeping our word to one another. See, we're afraid of the white man because he can come and evict us. He can come and put our stuff out on the street. And, oh, my sister ain't going to do that to me. Don't do her wrong. Don't do him wrong. Pay our bills. And let's build something beautiful, something wonderful, something that will last forever. That is the kingdom of God. All of this belongs to us, but we have to own up to it and realize that it is our time. It is our hour for us to take control of our destiny. And I believe that 100%. And I'm looking forward to our land that we're going to purchase here in Arizona. I've already put it into the universe, and therefore I know the universe will respond because I'm striving to be one with God, and I'm striving to do his will, and I'm working, and so that's how we have to do it. And we're going to talk a little bit more on our next show, which is shortly. But on our next show, we're going to talk about scripting. We're going to talk about writing it out, so we can manifest some things. So come back at 10:30 Mountain Standard Time. What time is it now, Pat?
It's only 9:30.
Oh, we're right at 9:30.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So in about an hour, we're going to say a few more things about brother and his show. And my husband may have a few other things that he wants to talk about. But that was my spiel for today. That's what I had on my heart to share with you. Please come back at 10:30 so that we can talk about scripting. And let's walk this together, family. Let's take this journey together. That's one of the beautiful things about Love My Kidneys is we're doing it together. You're walking with me. I'm walking with you. We're here for you. And that's what we do. If you have questions, family, on how and what you can do to start your own business, please feel free to give us a call. We are here as your brother and your sister. We're not professional according to whatever, but we professionally love you. How about that?
And we have access to resources that
Absolutely.
can help you along your journey. Those who really very have great business acumen.
Absolutely.
So that if we don't know, we find out.
Yes.
We connect you with resources, and that's what we do.
Right.
But I'm gonna let her finish.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. So, please, family, feel free to connect with us. The phone number that you can text so that we can stay in communication with. My husband's going to type it into the chat. It is 678 736 7086. And that way we can be in touch with one another. It's our direct line that you can connect with us and communicate, with us, family, so that we can be your brother and sister, so we can help you on your journey. The way we get there is we get there together. You know, we get there together. You don't have to be nervous. You know, you don't have to be afraid because you have support. You know, you have support. You have a nation that is behind you. The Nation of Islam is not just for members of the Nation of Islam. The Nation of Islam is a nation of peace, which is for all of God's righteous men and women. And we get there together, family. We support one another, you know, in the efforts of righteousness. Whenever you look at any of the believers' shows that we have, most of them always bring in other, you know, people from Christian society, Moor society, Hebrew Israelites. You know, we really don't care what community you're in if you're working toward the good of our people. That's what's most important. You know, Minister Farrakhan said we can debate religion after we get out of the hell that we're in.
Right.
That might not have been his exact words,
Yeah, well,
but
almost.
it was a you know, just a what I got from it. That's what I got from it, is that we can talk about religion, whether, you know, Jesus came or, you know, whoever, whatever you believe, all praise is due to God, Allah. Most important is that we get ourselves up out of the hell that we find ourselves in right now, family, and create an environment for us to grow spiritually, you know, because at the end of the day, all religions lead to one God, and that is to serve him, to be righteous men and women, to preserve his earth. You know, I know people, we laugh at white people about being tree huggers, but we have to learn to go and love the earth again. Love what sustains our life and not continue to rob the earth, you know, and constantly being consumers. You know, gotta have this, gotta have that, gotta have this, and we're pulling and pulling and pulling, you know, from our earth and depleting the earth. You know, our Native American brothers and sisters always knew how to give back to the earth. You know, our brothers and sisters in Africa, around the world, always knew how to give back to the earth. You know, and I think as African Americans, people, the blacks here in the United States of America, we've lost touch with Mother Earth. I believe it's really what helped us get through slavery. Even though it was difficult being out in those fields, but we were connected, you know, and it gave us strength because, you know, when you're in, I mean, okay, I'm not going to go there. But that was just a thought I was having, you know, about being in slavery. How did we survive that? And I really believe we were out in the earth and we were always pulling on God, you know, out in the sun, even though it was hot, you know, from sun up to sundown, and it was tough and it was rough. But God, we were pulling on that energy of the earth. We were pulling on the energy of the universe. You know, we weren't in our caves, our houses, you know. So now we're in our houses and we never connect to the earth. How many of us, you know, when was the last time you went and put your feet on some grass, in the dirt, in the sand, you know? When was the last time you did that? When was the last time you went and soaked up some sun? You know, these are the things that sustain life, is the earth. You know, that's where we come from, and that's what we have to connect back to. So, you know, when we spend too much time in our homes, in our office, in our cars, you know, we don't spend enough time with nature. So that's all that I have to say for today on Mind Spark Creations. So please come back and love my kidneys in about 45 minutes, so that we can continue to talk about scripting and making things, bringing our dreams into reality.
Yeah, I just want to, for those of you who don't have the book, The Message to the Black Man, those who don't have the book Message to the Black Man, we highly recommend that you get it. I just want to share a little bit out of it, uh, called The Program for Self-Development. This is a chapter in that book. It says, we must remember that we cannot depend on the white race ever to do that which we can do for self. The American so-called Negroes are like the Bible story of Lazarus and the rich man. the story that Jesus must have foreseen at the time. The Bible beggar was charmed by the wealth of the rich man to whom he was a servant, and he could not make up his mind to go seek something for self. This beggar was offered a home in paradise, but could not make up his mind to leave the gates of his master, the rich man, wishing for that which God had in store for destruction along with his owner. The beggar's eyes could not turn from that perishable wealth. So it is with the American Negroes. They are charmed by the luxury of their slave masters and cannot make up their minds to seek for self something of this good earth. Though hated and despised by the rich man and full of sores caused by the evil treatment of the rich man, on top of that, he is chased by the rich man's dogs and still remains a beggar at the gate. Though the gates of paradise were open to him and the gates of hell were open to receive the rich master, the American Negro have the same gates of paradise open to them, but are charmed by the wealth of America and cannot see the great opportunity that lies before them. They are suffering untold injustices at the hands of the rich. They have been, still are being lynched and burned. They and their women and children are beaten all over the country by the rich slave masters and their children. The slave houses and churches are bombed by the slave masters. Their girls are used as prostitutes and at times are raped in public. Yet the Negroes are on their knees begging the rich man to treat them as the rich man treats himself and his kind. The poor beggar kindly asks for the crumbs, a job, and a house in the neighborhood of the rich man. The Negro leaders are frightened to death and are afraid to ask for anything other than a job. The good things of this earth could be theirs if they would unite and acquire wealth as the masters and other independent nations have. The Negroes could have all this if they could get up and go to work for self. They are far too lazy as a nation, 100 years up from slavery and still looking to the master to care for them and give them a job, bread, and a house to live in on the master's land. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Surely the white race has been very good in the way of making jobs for their willing slaves, but this cannot go on forever. We are about at the end of it and must do something for self or else. So this is from, again, the chapter called A Program for Self-Development. And we are in that hour, as my wife has said, and of course the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad has told us over and over again. This is why we represent our brother's clothing line here, 40 Acres Apparel. And we try to bring on others that are doing things for themselves so that we can know that you too can do something for yourself. Right. And this is why also, not only do we represent that, then we present networks and things that you need in order to help you accomplish your goal. We connect you with the resources, with those who are successful, right, so that you too can be successful. And family, as we said earlier in this show, it's going to be more and more of a need to go out for self. So you need to go ahead and start. Yes. You really need to go ahead and start, because we're getting put in the situation, as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has just stated, where we are going to be forced to do just that. Right. So family, again, we want you to support our brother. Again, that website is 40 with the number 4, 40 Acres Apparel.com. I'm putting it in the chat. All right. 40acresapparel.com. Go there and support our brother. Go ahead on and support him and get your shirt so that it can bring that consciousness among our people, so that when people read what it is that is on your shirt, that they would ask questions and then abreast yourself with the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding so that you too can explain exactly why. I know some of us, we so hip now, I guess, that, we believe everybody else deserves reparations other than us. And we say, well, that makes us lazy, quote unquote. If we get what we deserve, that's gonna make us lazy. But it didn't make the Jews lazy. It didn't make the Chinese lazy. It didn't make the Japanese lazy. But it's gonna make you lazy. And that is a warped sense of reality.
Right. We have to
that's a warped sense in reality. That's just real. That is a warped sense of reality right there. You mean to tell me they did all that they did and put us in the position and the condition that we're in, and we can look for everybody else to have something, and you don't expect nothing for yourself? Well, no, you don't have to sit around and wait on it. But at the end of the day, it should be at least be in your mind that this is something that you deserve. They promised you 40 acres and a mule. You never got that. They promised you a whole bunch of things that you never did get. And this is something that I always like to mention among us. Just some food for thought, because that's what we do here. We inspire thought. Sorry. We inspire thought. Now, why is it that Black people in America who were born and raised here and have been here under slavery for 400 years and even been here before that time, why is it we are the only group of people that's here in this country that every 10 years you have to have your right to vote and your civil rights and human rights voted on again? No other people have to do that. So what is that really telling you? If you have to fight continuously for your right to vote, if you have to fight continuously for your civil liberties, you have to do that. Every 10 years, they have to re-vote on it again. When what did that really tell you? It tells you that you are not a citizen. Because if you were a citizen, you are born with that inalienable right to vote. And no one should have the right to take that right from you. But they do have that right, and every 10 years, you have to vote on it again. And when it comes up close, we run into and fro. Don't let them stop us getting our right to vote. Don't let them stop us. And that you don't want to believe that. You don't want to believe that they don't really consider you a citizen. The only time they consider you a citizen, and when it's time to go to war, then they can call you to the draft. Now they can call you to the draft because you live here. But yet you can't get the right to vote. They are not imprisoning these people who wrongfully kill you. They're not giving you justice in the justice system. They're not giving you anything to repair. And then they dare say, because you got a bill, that was enough. But you didn't say that for the Japanese, the Native Americans, the Chinese, and others. Why you gonna say that for us? Because you let us marry your women, your men, you think that's reparations? You could keep that in your pocket. You could keep, I'm gonna say that again. You could keep that in your pocket. That ain't no damn reparations. That's not gonna repair me because I got your woman or man on my side. That ain't no reparations. That's not gonna repair what you did. But anyway, long story short, family, if they don't repair it, we have to repair it. and God is here to help us in that repairing process.
That's right.
Okay, so that's the thing, but we definitely want you to support our brother. God willing, we'll get him back on next time, but definitely support our brother, brother Malik Shabazz with his clothing line, 40 Acres Apparel. Support our brother, and if you haven't as of yet had the opportunity to support us, we definitely would appreciate your support as well. I'm putting that in the chat as we speak. Putting that in the chat as we speak as well. So you can go there. We got many, many products for you to support if you would like to do that. And we would appreciate your support. We really appreciate your support of us. If you want to support the podcast, you can do so. If you do Cash App, you can do so. And Love My Kidneys, you can do so right there if you like to support that way. So either way you like to support, we appreciate your support either way. Yes. Okay. So family, again, we thank you so much for tuning in, whether you tune in now, you tuning in the future, you listening now, you listen later. We appreciate that you taking a little bit of time to give us in your divine mind.
That's right.
All right. So family, we love you. We love you so, so much. May Allah continue to bless each and every one of you. May Allah keep you safe. May Allah keep you healthy.
Yes.
For those of you who are not necessarily doing anything to strengthen your immune system, or you don't know what to do, we highly recommend Paximune. We are proud distributors of the Paximune by Dr. Alim Muhammad. We are proud distributors of the Paximune. You can pick that Paximune up on our website once again. On Etsy.com. You can pick that up right there. You just go ahead, take a look, and go ahead and pick up your bottle. That is something that's going to modulate and strengthen your immune system that will thus help you in, contracting this virus. Okay.
Not
You got to,
right?
that'll help you against contracting. Thank you. That'll help you against contracting this virus.
Yes.
We highly recommend that. Okay.
And we're blessed. I just want to mention that, family, that myself, my husband, and my son, we have never, by Allah's grace and mercy, and we pray that we never do contract this dreaded disease, this coronavirus. And because we are striving to stay away from people as much as possible, wearing our masks, washing our hands, taking our Paximune, building our immune system, getting plenty of fruits and vegetables, getting sunshine in. These are the things that are helping us stay away from coronavirus. And so that means that if we have been able to do it, for as long as the coronavirus has been going on, you can too, family. You have to strengthen your immune system. You have to, really try to stay away from people as much as possible. It's, almost impossible to do it, all the time, because you do interact. But when you come in your home, you need to take a shower. If you're a Muslim, you already know you go through ablution. See, the virus enters through our nostrils for the most part. So you want to come in and wash your nose out. You want to wash your ears, the same way you go through with your ablution, washing your face. But we suggest a full bath, a full shower, just and put your clothes. If you don't have one of the lights, the blue lights that help kill the bacteria and the virus, then put those clothes in the dirty clothes, and don't wear them until you wash them when you go outside. Okay. Protect yourself at all costs, family, because we got to get through this hour and we want to get through it as healthy as possible. Eat your Navy beans, whatever form you need to eat them in. We've been doing the navy bean dip, and Sister Charlene, I love you, girl, because she hooked it up and put it to a whole nother level. But we absolutely love it. It makes it easier. If you don't want to have bean soup every day, you don't have to have bean soup every day. When I made my 7-layer salad, I was like, I should have put navy beans in it. So just as easy as I put the peas in there, which aren't the absolute best for us, I could have put the navy beans in there, and that would have even given my immune system more strength, right? So the more that we put that which is good into our bodies, the more that our bodies will work to protect itself. The immune system, that's what it's there for. It's there to protect. It's there to bring the body back into a homeostasis state. Okay. So we got this, family, but we got to do it. We got to do it. We can do it. And you are amazing. If nobody told you today, we love you.
That's right.
And there is nothing that you can do about it.
Mm-hmm.
Be the best.
Because you are the best.
Absolutely the best. And remember
to let the spark in your mind create a new reality. All right, family. So God willing, come on over and join us on Love My Kidneys in about 29 minutes. We're going to be talking about the power of scripting, writing, and manifesting your destiny. So you definitely don't want to miss that. If you know anything about scripting, if you don't, this is a good opportunity for you to learn. And it helps in that process of manifestation. Once again, if you don't have this book, go to store.finalcall.com and pick it up along with your message to the black man. All the books by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So, family, with that said, may Allah continue to bless you. We're going to close out with a little bit of music, and then, God willing, we'll see you in just a few minutes. Yeah, I got you.
It's me. I got my one and only honey. If you need music, fam, please feel free to connect with us. And my husband will create something just for you. So with that, fam, we love you. May Allah continue to bless you to have an awesome rest of the day. See you in about 25 minutes. Assalamu alaikum.